My name is Dr. Tim Storms. I'm a veterinarian at the Woodland Park Zoo, and we're going to show you how to take biological samples from a bearded dragon named Freckles. So this is the best way to hold a bearded dragon. You want to, or another lizard, you would like to support their weight so they don't feel like they're going to fall. So she has her hands underneath the lizard, making sure she's not feeling nervous. For this sampling, we do need to take swabs of the bottom of the lizard, so we're going to have her turn her over, and I'll show you how she holds her for that. So they get more nervous when they're upside down, so we're holding the lizard in an upright position. And one thing I wanted to point out about this lizard is she has an abdominal scar from a previous surgery, which is not something that you'll likely see in your lizard. We are going to take a swab sample looking for pathogens, and this is a culturette that has a swab and media. It has a little cap that you remove to then insert the swab after you take the sample. I'm going to take the first swab and swab the belly. Just stroke back and forth a few times. We're going to insert that in the media, push it all the way closed. Second sample is to take a sample of the vent or cloaca, which is the opening down here right at the base of the tail, below the legs. You can see I'm kind of opening that apart a little bit. I'm taking the swab and just going right alongside that opening, going in just a little bit. And again, you put your swab into the media, push it. It's important to not touch that swab with anything except the thing that you're swabbing to make sure you get the right sample. Thanks, Freckles. The next step is to take some samples of the environment. So when we're taking samples of the environment to look for pathogens, we're going to be taking samples of the walls of the enclosure of this bearded dragon. Then we're going to take a sample of the area where she usually likes to defecate. And then we're going to take a sample of some feces itself and submit that. So first we're using a plain swab this time. And we're going to be putting that into a container that contains some sterile media, either sterile water or a media provided by your health partner. I'm taking a swab, and I'm going to just go along the sides of the enclosure. A few different spots. And then I'm going to swab the area that she likes to lay on, which is often where she likes to defecate. So just going along the log. A few different spots. So when you put the swab in the media, we need to break that off so it fits and put that in completely. And then that cap goes on tightly. So the parafilm peels off the backing, and it just goes right around the top of the container. You pull that to stretch it and just rub it to seal. Then that's ready for transport. Next, we're going to take a sample of gauze wiping in the water container. I'm going to open a sterile gauze. I'm going to wet this with a little bit of the sterile water or solution. Then I'm going to take this gauze and wipe in the water bowl right around the edges. It's okay if you immerse it in the water. Just try to get the edges. And then that gets put just like it is in the container. Put the cap on and seal it with the parafilm just like I showed you before. You can use a tongue depressor or in this case a spoon. And I'm going to just take a sample of the feces that she has produced. We're going to put that in a sterile collection container and close that up. Next, we're going to take a sample of the food bowl. I'm going to swipe the food bowl with a moistened gauze and then take a sample of food. So first, I'm going to moisten my gauze. Swipe around the edges and the bottom. We're going to put that gauze into the container, cap on, and parafilm. Okay. Next, I'm going to take a sample of the food itself. I'm going to open my sterile container. Take a sample of the food. Seal the top. And then enclose with the parafilm again. Next, I'm going to take a sample of the container that the lizard's worms come in. Sure. I'm going to take another sterile swab. I'm going to swab around the contents and onto the worms themselves to get a sample of the bacteria that are in there. And that's going to go in a container with sterile media. I'm going to braid that stick so it fits. Drop it in. And then the cap goes on and that gets sealed again.